Okay, take two. Well, first I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Linda G. Robert. I am your Back in the Groove Again coach. I'm here to help you live your best life now. And I just completed 20 minutes of live. And what I understand from the last viewer, you couldn't hear me. So this is why it's take two. And I'm going to try to be as genuine as I was during the first one, and of course I will be. I want to wish you, I imagine you can hear me now. I want to wish you and your family a very, very happy new year. And I know that a lot of us, including myself, we've lost some loved ones over the last year. And now it's a new beginning without these loved ones, whether it's a son or a daughter or a father, like in my case, or a mother or a father, like in my friend's case. It's still going to be challenging. So I want to start with sharing some tips. And then what I'll do also is and like I did in the last video, I already pulled some cards, so I'm going to be reading some cards. Note to you that I am not a medium, but every now and then I like to pull cards just for fun. And so, as we are moving forward into this new year, although it might be challenging, although you might still be grieving, one thing that I want you to keep in mind is that no matter what, life does go on, and we have to find ways of moving forward in our life. So I'm hoping that these tips that I'll be sharing with you will be helpful to you. Number one, it's to seek support. And that can be in the form of friends, it can be in the forms of family, it could be in the form of a support group. It could be in the form of a therapist. We all know that grieving, whether it's a pet or a loved one, a brother or a sister or a husband or a wife or a son or a daughter, can be very, very difficult, and is very, very difficult. And keeping it to yourself, I think part of it, we will want to keep some of it to ourselves, but there might be one point in this new year, for example, where you might want to talk about it. So finding yourself a support group, or opening up, even if it's just a little crack, opening up to family and friends and telling them how you feel will be helpful to you. Another way to help is to find ways to remember and to honor your loved one. And this could be through creating a memory book or creating a photo album. I have my television, when I have it on, it's connected through Chromecast. And I had connected Google Home, where my photos can go on my television. So every now and then I have beautiful memories, photos of trips that I've gone in the past, of course, but also photos of my dad, photos of my family. And when I look and I see, oh wow, there's my dad, and I, it reminds me of that time when we did take that picture. And so, that's fun. I didn't create a photo album, but I kind of have it on my television when I put it on. So that's really special. So you might also want to, visit a special place that was meaningful to them. My son, both my kids are alive. My youngest one, once in a while, likes to drive in a certain neighborhood. It's a neighborhood where we lived when he was younger. He was about 8, 9 years old. And every now and then he will drive there. He'll walk around there. And when I'm with him, we'll often do that too. It's a house that was significant to him. he has good memories there. So in a sense, he's grieving. He's still grieving, and he wants to remember some good memories from that time. So, it might not just be a person that you're grieving. It could be grieving an environment, just like I sometimes go through missing my house, the house that I sold a year ago now. And I miss my friends. So that's absolutely normal. So you want to find ways to incorporate these memories into your daily life. You also want to take care of yourself. It's important to pay attention to your own physical well-being as you navigate through the grieving process. It could include, getting enough sleep, eating better, finding healthy ways to cope with your emotions. I did a video yesterday for New Year's Eve. It's on now, where I guide you through different meditations, but I also guide you through different journal questions. Part one is mostly about letting go of things from the past. And then in the next part, I introduce you to my well-being and self-care model. And in this model, there are different areas, for example, choice, and then there's breathing, and then there's calming activities and movement and savoring. So I go through my wellness and self-care model, and I talk about it, I explain it, and then I suggest for you to think about how you could take care of yourself more. So you might want to revisit that video. It was on yesterday. I put it on yesterday. So taking care of yourself is really important, no matter what, actually, but even more so when you're going through some grief, eating properly, because sometimes when we're going through grief, or I'll just say for myself, I tended in the past, I should say, to, kind of deny my feelings, deny my emotions, and deny my sadness and not even think that I'm sad. And of course, in the past, I would abuse substances to mask these feelings. So, we might avoid or pretend that we're not feeling sadness or depressed and so on. We might avoid that by using alcohol or by shopping or by eating, crazily. And so when you know that you're doing that, that's great, right? You need to be aware that you're doing that so that you can make changes to how you're living your grief. And the last tip that I want to share with you before we look at the cards is to be patient. To be patient, because sometimes it could be frightening and it could be maddening to think, I'm still going through this? Like, why am I still sad? Why am I still feeling this way? Well, you're going through it because you need to go through it. That's it, right? That's it. So be very, very patient with yourself. It's important to remember that it's a process. Grieving is a process, and it takes time to heal. It takes a lot of time to heal. My friend was sharing that she lost her husband in 2021. And she was sharing that she was going through her journals, I think on New Year's Eve, and reading what she had written during the year. And she noticed that, wow, she grieved a lot. So keeping a journal now is still helpful, because if you had never kept a journal before, you do want to start somewhere. So I'll suggest that you review my video from yesterday. Journaling helps a lot. And first, you might want to just write and just get, it's almost like spewing, get your anger out, get your sadness out, cry, and then write more if you want. And then you might want to put it aside and then come back to it. You might want to journal every day for a while. That could be, maybe an intention that you set for yourself for this year, for example, to help you through the grief. And then put it aside. And if you don't feel like journaling, that's okay. That's okay too. You might want to start a gratitude journal, for example, as well. So, at some point, I used to journal a lot in the past when I had a lot of different emotions going on, mostly anger. I remember I kept them for years. I did keep them. And then I just decided to get rid of them. I kind of created a ceremony to allow myself to feel what I was feeling, but also to let that go. I didn't want to read them anymore. They had done what they had to do, they had served their purpose. So I burnt them and I released them, and it felt really good. And I don't regret that. My memories are still there. I can still remember how I felt, but I personally didn't want to start reading that again and again. It wasn't helpful for me. So you need to know yourself as well, right? It's all part of your own process, which could be very different than somebody else's. I want to say hello to whoever's watching. Maybe it's the same person that was watching me the last time. Happy New Year to you. Please tell me, where are you watching from? It'd be great to know where you're watching from. Now I'm going to be moving forward now, and I'm going to, in the first video that I created, I went through my process of selecting the cards, and I have chosen those cards, and I'm not going to go through that process again. But the card that I had chosen during the first video, which you will see if you look at the first video without sounds, the first card that I had chosen was from this deck, first of all, the Psychic Tarot. And it's by John Holland, and it is the Power card. And I'm going to read that now that you can hear me. I will read that. I'm still laughing. So yes, I don't think I'll delete it because you might at least see my facial expressions and so on. All right, so the Power card, number 8, it goes as follows. As a spiritual being, you have unlimited power at your command. This card represents inner strength, willpower, courage, compassion, generosity, and love. At any moment, these beautiful qualities can assist you in coping with an adverse condition in front of you or the many surrounding your life. Set aside the necessary time to resolve such issues. Power represents more than physical external strength. It can also be channeled emotionally. Oh, great. I'm glad you're here. Sorry, I was looking at Zoom to make sure that my mute was off, and it is. Thank you. And Happy New Year, Hiawatha. And I'm glad you're watching from Indiana. That's wonderful. I'm in Ontario, Canada. So let me go back to talk about power now. Power represents more than physical external strength. It can also be channeled emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When you have balance over body, mind, and soul, and with the power of spirit, anything can be overcome to achieve a positive result. Now, I'm just going to pause here for a second because what I didn't share in this video that I shared in the other video that you couldn't hear is that I pulled this card to help us with our grieving. I pulled this card to help us with our grieving during this year. So the card that I pulled was power. And so what I'm reading now will help us with our grieving. Power and strength can be developed to work in harmony in any given situation. Every obstacle, every error helps build your knowledge and understanding of the world around you. When you make a mistake, it's a chance for you to stop, listen, and ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning here? And how can I make the situation better? And I'm going to stop here again because I like this. What am I supposed to be learning here? And how can I make the situation better? I'm going to say that when you're going through an emotion of some sort, a feeling, whether it's sadness or maybe you're feeling depressed or because you're grieving or whatever reason that you're going through, ask yourself this question. I love this question. What am I supposed to be learning here? And how can I make this situation better? Because I truly believe that we learn from everything, right? We learn from everything. And when we allow ourselves to be open to that learning, it's really interesting what might come up. Mistakes are great wake-up calls in that they provide you opportunities to discover your weaknesses, what needs to be changed, and which areas of your life need improving. Equally, they can be blessings in disguise. Just remember, you are power. So that's from the tarot, the psychic tarot cards. Now, the next one that I haven't pulled yet because I found out that you couldn't hear me, but it is from the Life Purpose Oracle cards. It's from Doreen Virtue. Now, the reason I chose this particular deck is because sometimes when we start a new year, we might have to revisit our purposes. We might have to revisit our intentions. And so I'm going to just take a moment here to center myself and to put my love and energy in this particular deck as I shuffle this deck and pull out a card that will help us with our purpose, or help you with your purpose. All right. I just want to show you what the cards look like. They're really nice cards. What is our purpose? What do you want our purpose to be this year? All right. You can see it. I can't yet. Okay, environmentalist. Isn't that interesting? And I will get the book too here. Okay, environmentalist. I want to show you the card again. I hope you can see that. Environmentalist, you're an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and the animals. Really interesting. as we have environmental challenges. All right. I'm just looking at the book. I'll show you that when I get the page. Okay, so this is the book I'm reading from. Like I said, I am not a medium. I use these cards once in a while for fun. All right, so I'm going to read from this book, Environmentalist. Your passion for the environment stems from your soul's purpose. Prior to your incarnation, you pledged to commit your lifetime to helping the planet. You can feel this purpose each time you get upset about pollution and through the extreme love you feel toward animals, flowers, and trees. In fact, you often feel more connected to animals than people. The reason why is that your soul resonates with the honesty and the beauty of nature. This card comes to you as inspiration and motivation to take action on behalf of the environment. This begins with adopting an eco-friendly lifestyle for yourself, such as recycling and using green cleaning supplies. Your environmentally related career can involve animals, dog sitting, walking, animal communication, activism, and so on. Plants, botany, gardening, landscaping, and the like. Crystals, bodies of water, air quality, alternative energy, and so forth. Notice your natural passions and interests as guideposts, directing you towards action you can take within your community to protect animals and nature. Anytime you feel upset about an issue, this is a sign regarding your purpose. Whenever you think someone should do something about this, know that this someone is you. Super, super interesting. My friend was sharing with me the other day that her niece now works for in HR for one of these companies that sort the recycling products. And she was telling me, I'm just going to put this back in the card. She was telling me that her niece told her that when we recycle products like plastic containers, anything that has food in it, maybe it's just a little bit of food, or maybe the container wasn't cleaned properly. When this happens, this company throw it out. They just throw it out in the garbage can. Who knew? I didn't know that. And this probably isn't common knowledge, right? So, we talked and we agreed that we were going to at least do the very best we can to rinse our containers. We were talking about the peanut butter container. Peanut butter containers are really hard to clean. But now I know, and I don't eat peanut butter often, to be honest, and I've been purchasing from Bulk Barn. It's just a small little plastic container that's easy to wash. But now I know that I will, that if I leave food in a container, or even bags that have, chips, French fries in it from McDonald's, for example, that they'll throw those out. So let's do our best and take care of our environment. If not for us, for our children and for our grandchildren and for our great and great grandchildren. So that was a great card to pull. Now, the next one and the last one is from this deck here. Yeah, I know, it's awesome, eh? And I don't know if it's the same in Indiana, Hiawatha. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're referring to the information that I just shared. But anyways, I'm just saying thanks, because I'm not sure what you're referring to. But so the next card I'm pulling is from this deck of card. It's not like a tarot card or anything like that. I love it because for me, it's an inspirational deck. And it is by Louise Hay and Robert Holden. Louise Hay has passed now, but her memory still lingers on through many different products and books and videos as well. So I'm just going to, again, put my energy into here, my love and energy into this deck of cards here as I'm going through the deck. I'll choose one, and you could use this card for today's inspiration or for the next few weeks. All right. I guess is the card here. I love my body. I love my body. I'm going to speak to that in a second. Do a downward dog. Take a dance class. Book a foot massage. Be kind to your body. I love this for many different reasons. One is, as part of my self-care and well-being wheel, you'll have to watch the other video. There's movement in there. That is an important part of our well-being and our self-care. And so loving our body and moving our body. I love dancing. I don't dance enough now, but I love dancing. And people love yoga classes but be kind to your body. I want to speak on that because, I'm at an age where, okay, so I'm starting to notice the little love handles, I guess you could call them, behind my back. I'm aware. I'm aware of it. Okay, I'm aware of it. Just like we may all be aware of our body as it changes over the years. It changes, man. That's the way it goes. And I'm not a fanatic when it comes to exercising, and I'm not a fanatic when it comes to eating. I eat pretty well what I want to. I'm aware that I have to, that I want to watch my sodium. Like, I'm healthy. Okay, I'm healthy. But I'm mindful. I'm mindful of how certain things affect me. So as I get older, as I get on with my years, I don't want to deprive myself personally. This is just me speaking. I don't want to deprive myself. If I want to eat something sweet, I will eat something sweet. Okay. If I want to eat a chocolate bar, I will eat a chocolate bar. But I won't eat a chocolate bar every day. Now, I am, aware of the impact of that has. I'm also aware that if I don't exercise or walk regularly, that I will gain weight. I know that. Let's not be silly here. But I also know that if I'm cruel to my body, if I look at myself and go, oh my God, you're so fat. Ooh, look at you. You're getting to be like your mother. My mother, as she got older, and this is how we change, our attitude changes. I'll just explain. My mother lived with me for years. She had dementia. She lived with me for years. And I remember looking at her body when she was about my age, because she was about, I would say, yeah, well, we are like that. But, and I'll just finish my little story here. My mother lived with me when she was about my age now, so that'd be 65. I'm going to be 65 in January. I think that was about the age when she moved in with me. So that means I was in my late 30s, okay, when she moved in with me. That's a long time ago. And I remember at that time judging her. I do. I remember judging her, not telling her, but I remember judging her and wondering, how could you let yourself go? It's awful. I really remember that. My grandmother was a short, stocky woman too, so I'm not going to say that genes rule, but genes do have an effect on our body for sure. But I can love myself for who I am today and take care of myself too. I can still love myself for who I am and what my body looks like today. And if I'm not crazy about it, well, I have choices, and that boils down to my wellness and well-being wheel. Choices, right? Boils down to choices. And some of us might think, well, I don't have a choice. Well, I do have a choice. I do have a choice. I can love my body now and maybe do something to make me feel a bit better. Or I could choose to hate my body, which I don't want to hate my body, because I want to focus on the positives. That's part of who I am. I want to focus on the positives. I am still personally in good shape. I am not taking any medication. I take vitamins, but I don't take any medication. And I could go on and on. So, when you're thinking about your gratitude list, I mentioned that. Oh, I wonder if I mentioned that in the first video now. I can't remember. Sorry about that. I can't remember if I said that about the journaling. in the first video that you couldn't hear me, or if I mentioned it in the second video, well, I'll repeat myself here then. Start a gratitude list, right? Start a gratitude journal, and focusing on those tiny little things that you're grateful for, because that's what's really important, and that's what keeps us going. It's true. You have to just try to believe it, right? You have to try to believe it. So this card here, I love my body. And it says, be kind to your body. Love your body the way it is today. Maybe you're too thin and you don't like that. Whatever it is, maybe that's what it is for you. But whatever it is, be kind. Be kind, be kind, be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people too. So that's it. That's the card. These are the cards for this year, or at least for today and for the next few days. I do plan on doing more lives over the next few weeks. I want to talk more about my self-care and wellness model. My goal is to, or I should say my intention is to do a live a week for the next several weeks, more than likely on a weekend. Some of you may know this. I am a coach and I'm a teacher. I teach English as a foreign language, and that keeps me fairly busy. So I don't have additional time to do a longer live during the week. So I'll be doing my lives on the weekends instead. My name is Linda G. Robert. I am your back in the groove again coach. It is a new year, like, wow, January 1st, 2023. What do you want for yourself this year? Do you want to take care of your body more? Do you want to travel more? Even if you're single? I've been traveling. I'm single and I've been traveling. And this is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you live your best life now. Ask yourself that. What do I want? What do I really, really, really want? And of course, if you do want more information, you can also go to my website, lindagrobert.com. Don't forget to like this video. Forgot to say that. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I talk about many different things. You'll see on my channel that there are different playlists. I used to have a list called Sex in Our 60s, but I've changed it to Love in Our 60s for reasons that you can probably imagine why. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say on that. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks for viewing. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, this one here on the replay, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And have yourself a wonderful day. And of course, a blessed year. Take care now. Bye-bye. I have to close this on Zoom.